Near the entrance to Lovewell State Park in north-central Kansas stands a granite monument to a pioneer named Thomas Lovewell. For over 50 years, the marker's brief inscription has summarized key facts known about his life. Today, not only has more of his story come to light, so have a few photographs. Some of these have an interesting story of their own to tell. Talking to a reporter in 1916, 90-year-old Thomas Lovewell recalled that the first great adventure of his life began in 1859, when he belatedly joined the gold rush to Pikes Peak. Leaving his wife and daughter in Iowa, he bought supplies at St. Joe, then headed for the Platte River Road west of Fort Kearny, taking the South Fork of the Platte toward the rapidly growing town of Denver. Remarkably enough, there appears to be photographic evidence of his arrival. The town's ambitious promoter, D.C. Oaks, had published one of the 20 or so guides to the new gold fields and scattered copies throughout the West. Oaks made a fortune selling lumber to new arrivals, while his partner, California Abe, offered them mining claims. With gold fever suddenly cooling late in 1859, Oaks must have hired a photographer to help him fan the flames by advertising the latest issue of his guide, a new edition for the coming year. The large glass negative from a new wet plate photographic process could produce an unlimited number of high-quality prints on photographic paper, when everything went well. When the emulsion ran, the ruined plate was handed to one of the subjects, a visitor from Michigan. However, thanks to the resolution of that 8-inch by 10-inch negative, we can see close enough to recognize one of the travelers stopping at Riley's Gulch that day as 33-year-old Thomas Lovewell, probably joined by one of his younger brothers, Solomon or Alfred. Thomas would spend 6 years in the far West, including a 3-year stint in the Army. Since his wife had taken up with another man in his absence, he came to Kansas with her niece, Oral Jane Moore, in 1866. The town he founded, White Rock, was for a time the busiest trade center in Republic County. However, unable to attract a railroad, it soon went into decline. In 1885, when the local GAR Veterans Post was forced to surrender its charter, members were invited to visit the post at nearby Republic. A picture taken that day remained a keepsake among descendants of Daniel Davis, who often served as post chaplain. In the last few years, the man standing near Davis has been identified as Thomas Lovewell, giving off a no-nonsense Marshall Dillon vibe. In fact, both Lovewell and Davis did serve as Kansas lawmen when the need arose. When that first outline of Thomas Lovewell's life was printed in 1916, it was illustrated with a portrait which had been made in 1893 when he was 67. The photograph was reprinted with his obituary in 1920. By then, nearly everyone had forgotten that it had originally been a hand-tinted double portrait, taken to celebrate Thomas's reunion with his daughter Julia, the girl he had last seen when she was 2, as he left for Pikes Peak. Another daughter, one of the 7 children born to his second wife, snapped a picture of her parents in their garden at Lovewell, Kansas in 1902. Mary Lovewell Stouffer had purchased one of Kodak's new $1 Brownie cameras, which she apparently never did learn to hold steady while she pressed the shutter. A new era in home photography was born, although we can only be certain that Thomas Lovewell ever posed for 2 more pictures, both taken at his 88th birthday celebration in 1913. The 1902 snapshot was the most recent photo to join this collection, and the 3rd new photograph since 2012. Together they span the years Thomas Lovewell spent in Kansas or Kansas Territory. He also lived, worked, and traveled in Ohio, Illinois, Iowa, Nevada, California, Oregon, Wyoming, and Alaska. If he had his picture taken in any of those places, we don't know about it. Not yet. Maybe something will turn up.